How do you guys harvest bat guano? Like, genuine question. How is that
You
harvested?
just
Do you
scrape
just
it off of cave floors.
and
Yeah.
why do we call it guano? Why not bat poop?
It's just
What's
a
the
fancy
difference?
word for poop.
Like why are we over here like specifically? It's like
You know
cow
what? Let me look
manure.
up the etymology of guano.
It's like cow manure, like cow dog poop, cat poop, cow manure, bat guano. Like we're over here just trying to be fancy when we could just be like, yeah, let's get some bat poop, okay? So that's an interesting and dumb thing because why do I have to collect bat poop off of caves? And also, here's another question: who's the guy going around in the D&D world just to caves to pick up bat poop?
The
So
guy
that people
who's
can
selling
cast.
very expensive spell components.
Also, at the same time, I feel like that should definitely, if someone is going around collecting bat guano off of the ground in your D&D world, they should probably be locked up in prison because they're giving fireball to a bunch of random people.
So, the word guano comes from the Spanish word for dung, which itself is from the Quechua language term wanu. In Quechua, wanu means dung for fuel fertilizer. The term refers to excrement of seabirds or bats, particularly when used as a fertilizer.
Interesting.
So for funsies, I guess.
They're just like, this is a fun word.
Yes.
We're going to make this one Spanish for some reason.
Yeah.
We're Spanish, guano. But like, think about it, okay? You're a component salesman in D&D, okay? You're literally like an arms dealer equivalent.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the opportunity to cast fireball just to a random person, and they sell it out of their stores.
Yep.
In the middle of the city, like, hey, you want to buy some bat guano so you can just fireball the palace?
Yeah.
Here you go. That's what we're talking about today, guys. We're talking about bat guano specifically, and only that. And when it comes to the spell component of fireball. Now we're going to be talking about spell components today and why they are the forgotten ingredient, the forgotten component in spells. There are 3 things you need when you cast a spell, okay? Who knows what those 3 things are?
You need
Brain.
verbal,
Done.
material, and somatic.
Yep, VSM.
Mhm.
Verbal somatic material. See that on your spell description. It'll say like, oh, does it say components? I don't know exactly what it says next to it, but it says VSM. And then if it's material, it might say, for example, fireball is bat guano. Okay.
Mhm.
Why? Who knows? Oh, actually, you know what? Isn't bat guano like extremely flammable? Isn't that the whole deal?
I think so.
I think so, yes.
Okay. So a lot of times I feel like in D&D, guys, is there is a like sorry, what am I trying to say? Materials are just completely forgotten unless they have a gold value to the specific material. Everyone is always like, "Oh, this is what I say when I do that. Here's my Doctor Strange weaving the thread of sorcery or whatever it specifically is. I don't the time stone, whatever it is. They do that, but no one talks about when they squish bat poop in their hands and throw it at someone and it explodes into fireball. Okay,
Yeah.
why do we feel like that is specifically forgotten?
Everybody likes the sausage, but they don't want to know how it's made.
I do. I think it's very fascinating to see how sausage is made.
He actually does watch
It's cool.
sausage making
What?
videos.
It's cool.
He does.
It's fascinating.
Miguel does that too. We'll be laying in bed and I'll look over and he's watching like butcher videos and I'm like, oh my god.
I watch
Random-
butcher videos.
Random side note, Haley, is that a fidget cube that I printed?
Uh-huh.
Is this a
I
fidget
have,
cube
like-
you printed?
I
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so honored. Thank
I
you.
keep it on my desk. It's my fidget toy.
Uh-huh.
I
I'll
like
make
how
you
big
guys
this
new
one is.
ones.
Can you make me one even bigger?
Actually, I can now.
Anyway, let's go back to components. We can talk about this later. And then we got to hear the tea. We didn't hear the tea from the last
didn't.
episode. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, bat poop.
Yeah. So yeah, why are they overlooked? Other than Sam, who wants to know what a sausage is made. Why else is specifically your material
cool,
components if they don't have? I don't doubt you, my guy. The material components that don't have gold. Why are they forgotten in your provisions and stuff?
That's so much to keep track of.
It's so much time to have to find it too. And what if you can't? Then a big chunk of what you can do, you can't do, and that's sad.
Okay, hear me out. You're preparing your spells for the day.
Mhm.
Would your characters? Well, if you, this more feel like applies to wizards specifically, because wizards are the
Yeah.
only one. And correct me if I'm wrong. Because clerics, rangers just use magic, but clerics, druids, bards all have some sort of spell casting focus, right? Which they can use instead of the materials. So it is just wizards can choose to have a component pouch,
Mhm.
right?
I
Instead of
think
an arcane
technically
focus.
Rangers can too.
Rangers?
At least
Okay.
they could in 2014. I don't know if it's the same in 2024.
And here's the thing, like it's if a cleric wants to use components, I don't think that's a problem. Like
Mhm.
if it's that kind of flavor, if it works for your god or whatever it may be, or a paladin who wants to use paladin has a holy symbol or something, or some sort of arcane focus. So I feel like most of the classes don't require you to even have materials like that unless it's gold, value
Yeah.
of gold, right? So which by the way, detect thoughts, you always need a copper piece. Can we talk about that real fast? What are the funniest? Maybe you guys have some off the top of your mind, maybe you don't. The funniest spell components, okay? For our audience, a lot of the spell components are just like for detect thoughts, it is a single copper piece because penny for your thoughts.
Yep.
The spell
That's
components are just
stupid.
silly.
Silly Billy spell components.
Oh, they're so silly.
Just so silly. There was one. I can't remember what it is though. Here, let me look up the material components.
Haste is licorice. And I don't know. I believe haste is just like licorice. I can look it up. I have it on my thing, but
Does he
there's
have a sugar rush?
probably is actually no, that's genius. I kind of wondered why it was that. That's
Mhm.
probably exactly the reason why. Is for a sugar rush.
Grease is just butter.
Grease is just butter?
A bit of pork rind or butter.
So you're telling me I just like throw butter on the ground and it melts like a freaking skillet, like it's on a skillet?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make a wizard where every single one of their spells is literally just like if I use grease, it's literally just like melts, like sizzles and melts into this giant pool. But it's like a pound of butter.
I have one. Message, you need a short piece of copper wire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the cups and the wire, the string thing.
Oh, I didn't put that one together. Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked up a big chart, so.
No, there's it's just kind of weird. If we look at like what's Meteor Swarm? As you can tell, we're currently looking at it in our player handbooks. Poison spray is a cantrip.
What level is Meteor Swarm?
9.
9.
Okay.
So we will never see it in a campaign ever.
I plan on this campaign going to
you don't need anything for Meteor Swarm. It's
that makes
just
sense actually.
verbal and somatic.
We should also say not all spells have all three. Some of them are just vocal, some of them are just somatic, some of them I believe everyone is either visual, somatic, and then there's also material that can be thrown in there. They can be 1 or 2 or 3 of each. For example, like Magic Jar, you need a gem, a crystal. That's not that fun. Never mind. I'm not going to read that one. Hold Person is a straight piece of iron. Isn't that ironic? That's called comedy, everyone. And you guys didn't laugh. Wait, Hypnotic Pattern is a pinch of confetti.
That's stupid.
Surprise! You're now hypnotized by my confetti. This is
Hypnotic
genius.
pattern, it's just fine glitter in their eyes.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to play this wizard character now, where it's just BSing all of this silly, stupid, like mechanics of components. Okay. So
Friends.
what?
Oh, sorry, go Haley.
Friends, a small amount of makeup applied to the face as the spell is cast. Also, my camera is freaking out right now.
It's wigging out.
I think you're possessed a little bit.
My computer itself also is freaking out right now. So if I just disappear, at least I told you what the components for grease was.
And friend.
And friend.
You put on
I
makeup
I
because
like C invisibility. That one's a great one. It's just talcum powder.
talcum powder.
The one for slow is a drop of molasses.
Okay, yeah. Oh, she's gone.
Bye, Haley.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to rearrange the video. No.
Whoopsies.
No, it's gonna jump and we're gonna do a cut. Oh no. It's fine.
I bet you guys can't guess what the materials for gust of wind is.
What is it?
You have to guess.
Is it a gust
It's a
of
fan.
wind?
It's beans.
Beans.
No way is it actually.
It's beans.
When Haley gets back, I'm probably just gonna cut this whole part of her leaving to now. So I want you to say that when Haley gets back.
Oh, right.
Because I want that in the podcast because that's freaking hilarious. That's wild. We'll take this time to look up some funny ones and then we'll. Oh, what'd she say?
Should I try to rejoin?
Yes. Oh, she's not here.
Says yes to her ghost.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Show us your face, Haley.
I think I'm back. Okay.
Hi, Haley.
Yay.
Sam,
Hi.
you found one. What was it?
Haley, do you know what the spell component for gust of wind is?
No.
I would like you to give me a guess.
Maybe like a feather or something?
It's beans.
I knew in my heart that it was something along a fart joke, but I was hoping it wasn't.
Just wait until you find out what passwall is.
What's passwall?
Sesame seeds. Open sesame.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
D&D
Okay.
is just a bunch of dad jokes, and I love it.
Kendall, you had one that you found, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
discuss this because
For-
this is
For jump, you need a grasshopper's hind leg.
Ew.
psychotic. That's wild.
That seems
imagine,
very
again-
witchy to me, honestly. That
Yeah, that
feels
one does
mean.
seem witchy.
Imagine being the peddler that is just going around taking the hind legs off
With
grasshoppers,
grasshopper legs.
bat guano, can of beans, and sesame seeds. That's like, imagine going to like the D&D equivalent of a grocery store, okay? And you just roll up and you're like, hey, can I get like the specific set of items? And they're like, what the heck? Like, if someone, like, if I worked at a grocery store and someone came up to me with just this bizarre set of items, like a grasshopper leg, sesame seeds, beans, I'd be like, what the heck? Or it would trigger something and we'd have some sort of magic system set up where it would trigger this person's trying to cast fireball, and then they'd get tackled because and sent to prison for terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only that's the only two things that would happen. It'd be like, oh, weird, or you'd be like terrorist.
Yeah.
That's the only two
Obviously.
things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So be
That would
careful where you
such
buy
a
your
fun,
products.
cozy campaign, Braden, to do a grocery store for spell components. Be
You
in
know,
charge
I'm-
of
Write that down, write
Your
that down.
adventures are finding ingredients, and you're being run out of town by the big corporation stores, and you need to
I-
be like
Oh.
corporate
Dirty
sabotage.
Valley!
Love that. I'm actually writing that down. That's such a fun, like, 4-episode campaign.
Yeah.
Like a silly 4-episode campaign. Sam, can I legally steal that idea?
I want 10% of all proceeds.
If we do it on the podcast, sure.
Heck yeah.
Big corporate verse. Let me write this down. I'm gonna ask a question before I finish writing this down. So why did Wizards of the Coast decide, what in your guys' thoughts and opinions, to make all of these just silly dad jokes?
Because why not have fun with it?
Yeah. It's a game. It doesn't always need to be so serious.
True. It just kind of almost seems a little bit like they don't care if you use spell components a little bit as well. Because they were like, oh, or like because they're kind of silly. Not that that's a problem. Again, like you said, like humor needs to have. We had an episode, I believe. At this point, it'd be 4 episodes ago. Our Crits and Giggles, you need more humor in your D&D campaign. That episode, we talked about humor. And this is kind of a fun way to include that humor. I also feel it's a little bit where Wizards of the Coast do not care that much. They're like, hey, we know people aren't going to use this. Let's do funny dad jokes for all this. Let's do open sesame seeds for pass wall or whatever it may be. You know? When is it appropriate, Kate, going off of this stuff, to or should you, I guess maybe the better word is, should you overlook this or should you use it in your campaign? Like, how strict would you guys like it to be or not?
I never require it as a DM because I personally don't want to have to keep track of what every single apothecary carries and how many you need to go to and how many of whatever you need. Because I know my players won't keep track of that, so someone has to.
I feel like the general consensus, again, this is a generalization, so if you do it differently, let us know. Let us know in the comments, actually, if you do use components, if you're a DM and you're a little bit more strict on that, how you use that in a way that makes it fun for your campaign. Or who knows, you may think it's fun and your players don't. My general consensus is that you guys, before going out on an adventure, buy the necessary components you need.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think, who was it? I think it was Hester or Amber. Well, Amber and Hester, same thing. Was like, oh, I wanted to role play me going and buy all the components or all this stuff. And I was just like, I don't necessarily want to do that because it's just, you're to go and talk to an apothecary and leave, like that stuff. And she was like, oh, but I want to do this. Like, how much money should I spend? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's a little bit of me that's like, do I require whenever you leave a city, you just say, I go buy my spell components or my arrows or whatever materials it is. And then I'll be like, yes, it's 10 silver or 1 gold piece, 2 gold pieces, 5 silver, whatever it may be. Just to kind of keep that kind of a balance between that, because you should be spending money and you technically should be using them if you have a component pouch, right? Yeah. So like, there's a bit of me that's kind of wants to do that, but it's also so minute. Like 2 silver pieces is not anything crazy, right? So me saying, oh, make sure every time you leave the town, you spend 2 silver pieces.
Yeah, I get that. But also, it's the little things like the slice of life things that help with immersion.
Yeah.
Right? So saying like, okay, you guys are in town, you might want to stock up on this or that, and you could just have a fun little interaction with the shopkeeper. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that adds to it.
No, I don't.
I don't think it's a bad thing until you have a group of 7 players who every single person wants their own time and own interaction to do.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of players.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot easier with a smaller group, but with a group this big, I don't want to sit there for 45 minutes while everyone goes to a different shop, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's completely fair.
And oh, you could say, oh, multiple people go to one place. It's that time-wise thing, because with our specific, for again, our home game, like we've been talking about, 7 people is a lot, and we do not progress far at all. A lot of that's on my fault. I take a huge responsibility on that. But we are very slow at progressing the story. And just it's those things of just the little, I love little role plays like that, and I don't have a problem with doing that. But if it's happening every single time you go into a town, you're gonna have a shopping episode every single session. Not session, like every like few sessions.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to just say, you guys, when you go into town, obviously, like you guys don't talk about how you go to the bathroom, but we assume your guys' characters go to the bathroom, right? Right?
I don't think Backpack Boy goes to the bathroom.
But how does Backpack Boy
system.
defecate?
There's never waste.
Yeah, can you explain how you defecate, please, Backpack Boy?
I don't.
Oh, okay, good to know. He just leaves little Jello cups everywhere.
Yeah, where do you think the Jello cups come from?
Oh no, I will never eat Jello again.
It's made of horse hooves.
It is. And bone.
And it's delicious.
Same with like makeup and lipstick and stuff. It's gnarly.
Mhm.
I forgot where I was going. Oh, I was just basically saying there are some just things that are just unspoken that happen, you know? Like, I don't want to hear about every single time your characters go to the bathroom. I think if it works for like the roleplay and the joke, fine. That's funny and go ahead and do that. Like, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. I mean, Jester in campaign 2 has made jokes about that. Laura Bailey made jokes about her Jester going to the bathroom all the time. You know, and
Yeah.
I think that fits well into the campaign. But if imagine like your character has Crohn's. Imagine it's me. I have to go to the bathroom a lot sometimes, okay? I'm telling you every like 5 minutes. Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then it just ruins the whole flow of the the group. It ruins your progression and all that. That's not fun
Hmm.
all the time, right? In small increments, like you're saying, Kendall, 100%.
Yeah.
And with a smaller group, works way better. 7 people is a lot, and I think I'm really starting to realize that in these past little bit. And,
Yeah.
and it's I've only ever DM'd for like groups of 7 or 8. My majority of my time is groups of 7 and 8, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, we're cutting the group to 7.
No. Oh,
So you're good.
okay.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not cutting the group. I wouldn't do that. I like playing with you guys too much. I've always thought about that. I was like, if I didn't enjoy playing D&D and these guys weren't my best friends in like my entire existence, I probably would have cut down the group if it was just for D&D. But this is like the one time a week we get to hang out. So
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want you guys there and all that. But if it was just for D&D and if it was any other people, probably would have cut down to like 4 or 5 people at this point, just for
Yeah.
progress.
Okay, name the 4 or 5 you would keep
Yeah.
now.
I knew you
live
guys were going to
on
say
air.
that. I'm not going to say it
Brayden,
Because
am I
they're
one
not-
of them?
because they're not here right now.
Oh,
Just kidding.
I need to know if I'm one of them. Please, Brayden.
Give us another chance.
No. We're through. We're over. It's not you. It's not me. It's you. Okay.
No.
Look at Sam. He's so sad.
Sam, are you crying right now?
Yeah.
Good. That was my whole point of breaking up the group is to see you have tears.
Brayden, am I one of them?
I already told you the 4 aren't here. Just kidding. I like I said, I won't break up the group because I can't do that. You guys are my best friends, and I enjoy playing D&D with you guys. You know,
Dang.
I've said it before. Sometimes I wish Monday nights were D&D night, and we focused on D&D, not like the side chats that happen sometimes. But I understand, like we're not like it's the one time a week we hang out, right? And
I
sometimes
have a
it takes time.
solution. We just
What?
need to hang out more.
Okay, we're constantly on Discord playing video games.
No, we need to hang out in person more.
I don't have time. I would love to. Once a month at least would be awesome, okay? I do not have time though. I am so busy right now, and planning for the upcoming mini campaign is going to take so much more time. I am stressing balls about that. I'm going to say that right now. I am so nervous. I have set such lofty expectations for myself that I'm stressing. I've lost hair. Look, I'm bald. Just kidding.
Bold.
He's bald.
Eyes!
That's not what we're talking about. We've gone way off topic, everyone. What the heck?
Wait, what's our topic again?
Yeah, what's our topic again? We're talking about.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about poop.
Yeah, we're talking about poop. Back guano. So
Technically
guano,
true.
please. Technically true. You're right. So like, is there any? Let's talk about the survival campaign. We've brought up the survival campaign a few times. That was Diana's hot take. How would you guys keep track of that? Would you just like, and in a fun way? Because I feel like if you're doing a survival campaign, and you're like, oh hey, I just go to an apothecary and I pick up stuff. That kind of doesn't that's not really survival. If there's just a flippin' apothecary every single time you're in a city or whatever, like if you're out and about like adventuring in the forest and all that, and you run out of bat guano, what do you do? Like you go forward for how would you guys go about that?
So, are you asking how we would keep track of how much we have, or how would we get it?
Yes and yes.
Okay. As for getting it, I think it would be really funny just a really funny situation if me and another party member split from the party to go to a cave to harvest some bat guano, and we're doing it nonchalantly, and we're talking about some drama that's happening within the party. I just think that would be funny. But, Sam has something.
Bat boxes are a thing, and they have been forever. We have a
I
stable
don't
way
know
to
what that
collect
is.
bat
I didn't
bat
know that.
guano.
What I didn't know that.
Now that I think
I
about
also
it,
did not know that.
I think for one of my friend's Eagle Scout projects, we built bat boxes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh,
By the
Yeah.
way, if you live in an HOA that's really pissing you off, put up some bat boxes. They're federally protected, and they can't make you take them down.
Genius.
interesting.
Wait. Let me fact check myself.
No,
No, our
nope,
legal
nope.
team.
Nope.
Are bat houses
Don't look it
federally
up.
protected?
As
We're
for
gonna get some
keeping
people's HOAs
track
pissed
of
off.
it,
Houses themselves aren't, but the bats living in them are. So if they are living in there, then you're Gucci.
Okay.
okay. As for keeping track of them, as somebody who likes to doodle, I could see myself making a whole other like supply tracker page, and I could like bullet journal it with like different markers and stickers and stuff. So that's just me. Just make it a cute, fun coloring page, basically.
Kendall, that actually reminds me of there was a campaign that my friend ran forever ago, and it was a superhero campaign.
Yeah.
And the typical character sheet wouldn't work for it. So we all made our own personalized character sheets. So I feel like
Cute.
that is something you could do to keep track of your stuff if you're doing a hardcore survival campaign and, you're a little more crafty than the typical D&D player.
Yeah, like if you want to spend the time to create a custom supply page, I feel like that would be so much fun. You would probably need to either print out a lot of them or just use pencil or maybe put it in a sheet protector and use like a wet erase marker to be able
Yeah.
to
That's a good way to do it.
I don't know what's it called, to erase
track.
it and update it. Yeah, you
Mhm.
know what I mean.
I'm thinking of like, let's say, well, again, I don't know. We keep going back to bat one, okay? Because I think it's the funniest out of all of them.
It
Like,
is.
like, let me just go collect bat poop, okay? Like, you're going to collect some bat guano from a cave. I, as a DM, I think what I would do is I would have you roll a dice and then add like your survival modifier or something. And whatever you get is the amount. So let's say you roll and you get an 8 in total. Okay, you get 8 bat guanos worth of fireball. So you can cast fireball 8 times.
8 bat guanos.
8
Worth.
backwanos.
I don't 8.
How
I don't know.
many
It doesn't
bat
say a
guanos?
specific amount. So I'm just saying you can cast. You can use your bat guano 8 times to cast fire. So basically, you would get a X amount of resources for your spell slots or whatever it may be. Because then it'd be like, okay, because then you would look over it when you're preparing your spells for the day, and you're like, oh, I can't prepare fireball today because I only have 1 bat guano, or no, I have no more bat guano, or something like that. Instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna, like, you would look at your tracking sheet that you would create, Kendall, right?
Yeah.
And you would be like, okay, I can prepare this amount of spells because this is what I've gathered.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see a problem with it as well, is that, and this isn't a bad problem, this is just me as a DM being like, or like as a player, I love how in Skyrim you can have like 300 battle axes on your
Yeah.
character, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of the same thing with D&D a little bit, is like we don't think of
If you don't
what
track
we're actually
weight.
carrying. Yeah, if you don't track weight, I even still say, is it like D&D makes a little bit more sense to make sure it's realistic. Like if I have 15 battle axes in my inventory, how is my character carrying all that? You know?
Mhm.
Like he's not going to like feasibly be able to store 15 battle axes on his back.
If he has a bag of holding, though. That's
But if he has a bag
story.
of holding, that's but we're assuming you don't have a bag of holding, or
Mhm.
you're not able to, because a bag of holding, like how does that work? How would you not mechanically, role play wise, role play that out, right? And I believe there's like, because if you have 10 for each of your spells, that's a lot of material components you have. Do you just keep, bat guano mixed with your sesame seeds or something like that? Or
Clearly. What else
how
would
does
you
that
do?
work? And a bag of holding is kind of like defeats that purpose.
Yeah.
In a survival campaign, though, you may not have a bag of holding because it's a survival campaign, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's something you got to think of as well. Is like, okay, what
I'm-
is my character feasibly able to carry at the same time?
I'm kind of like picturing a tackle box.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
picturing
was
too. Yeah,
too.
Oh, hey, look at
Yeah.
that!
a bunch of pill bottles.
Ye old tackle
Hey,
box.
yo.
You keep them. You keep your bat guano in a pill bottle. And you can just throw the pill bottle as like a grenade.
There you go.
I was more thinking Molotov cocktail, but
That works
yeah,
too.
grenade
That works. That. I feel like a Molotov cocktail works better for sure. Yeah, in that sense. But yeah, like that's just something you got to think of it like in a survival campaign because you're definitely going to keep track of it more in a survival campaign than a depending on your DM, obviously. Do you guys think it's acceptable to like switch out like instead of bat guano, you could do like black powder or something?
Ooh.
I
like
think if you're doing like a
substitute.
pirate campaign,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something within
Braden,
theme.
if we were to do something like that, would you change how the spell works a little bit?
It would just create a new spell, is what I would do. Instead of being fireball, it would be black powder bomb.
Like, what if it replaced some raw damage for some lingering damage? Like the area becomes like a burning plane.
Ooh.
At that like I said, I think at that point for me it just becomes a different spell kind of deal. Like I would still allow that obviously. Like that's not a problem. If you wanted to create your own spell and we worked on it, 100%. But if you were like, "Oh, I'm going to throw black powder as my fireball and it's going to have a lingering effect." I don't know, like to me it's just like then it's not fireball, you know? Like fireball is
Mhm.
specifically rules is written that. I feel like spells are the one thing when it comes to damage, I'm pretty like set like rules is written on kind of deal. But I like that idea of utilizing something and kind of just doing like an alternate fireball. So
Yeah, can I shoot
You-
water ball, please?
you could because you could actually. So in the
C4 Squano.
2014, I haven't read it in the 2024 handbook, but I know in the 2014 handbook it says your players can flavor anything they want to. You just can't change the damage type of the spell.
Oh, lame.
If they're casting fireball, it can't do cold damage because it's fireball kind of deal. At that point, just create ice ball, or something like that. Or what's
Yeah, since when
the
did we ever listen to Wizards of the Coast?
That's the one thing I'm actually pretty like rules is written on. Is whatever the spell says is what it should do. If you want to do a new spell or something like that, come up to me and we can talk about a new spell. Like, don't have fireball. Be like, hey, can I flavor my fireball as an ice one? And be like, yeah, it's not fireball though. It's ice ball or whatever you want to call it. And it does cold damage instead. Like, I don't think you need to change something's damage and still keep it as poison spray or whatever it may be. I'm trying to think of something that's not, fireball, poison sprayed, acid splash, thunderclap. Like all of those are pretty specific in their name. I'll say like divine smite, which is radiant damage. Like if we wanted to maybe like, oh, you're more like evil paladin, not an oathbreaker, because I think oathbreakers can go both ways. I think there needs to be a good oathbreaker class, subclass. Someone who breaks their oath because they realize that they're doing something wrong. I 100% think that. I don't have my streamer mode turned off, so I'm getting all of these notifications. Sorry. So that like I don't think it's a bad thing to flavor it. Just create a new spell though, and come up with your components and all that. So, like divine smite, if you want to be more evil, make it necrotic damage over radiant damage or whatever it may be. It's the thing with like spiritual weapon. Okay, I have a
Yeah.
problem with spiritual weapon where people are like, "Oh, it is a literal weapon." Okay, it is a sword. Well, it still does force damage, even though it's a
Yeah.
sword. It still does force damage, no matter what. So, because that's just the component of the spell, right? Are there any other like what am I trying to say? I want to ask a question about like the utilization of your somatic and material components when you're like grappled and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can you would let's say, is there a ability that allows you to grapple someone
Like,
as a reaction? I'm trying to
There's
think. I don't know.
probably something.
What's grappler? Is grappler one of those? I don't know.
It might also be something for the Battlemaster fighter. I feel like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
something in there for it.
You also have, fun fact, I just opened up my thing. Animal messenger, the material component is a morsel of food.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feed the animal. Now talk to me, or go do this for me. Because let's say you're grappled or you're restrained. How does that affect how you can cast a spell? You know, because technically, according to the rules, grapple, it does not stop you from being able to take actions. You can still
Okay.
take actions while you're grappled. Restrained, it's on. I have it.
I feel like with grappled, you would have to do a contested strength check.
Because for me, grapple is a lesser restraint, is what it is,
Yeah.
right? Because I like what do you mean by contested strength? Like in the sense of, in order to cast the spell.
Yeah, you need to, let's say you're being grappled and they have your arms pinned down. Could you wrestle your way out of that and then cast the spell? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I would feel like if your hands are pinned down, I feel like that's more restrained,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Like a grapple is more like I've wrapped my arms around your waist kind of deal.
Okay.
Like you still have your movement. I don't know. That's for me. But like
My
going
thing
off
still
that, yeah,
stands.
your thing still stands. Like I think that's one way you could do it. I think I'm trying to find the restrain in the player's handbook. 1 second. Give me a second. You guys continue talking and then I'll look up the specifics of this.
Okay. You definitely couldn't do it if what's it called? What's the freaking effect called, guys?
Silenced?
Yes, that's the one. Silenced or paralyzed. Or no, it's petrified, right? Is what it's
Petrified
called.
and paralyzed, yeah. Petrified is you're just turning into stone. Paralyzed is you're paralyzed. Can't move.
Okay. With frightened, I would say you would not be able to do it either because I feel like with frightened you kind of like freeze just due to your fear. And then I think those are it for the ones that personally I feel like you wouldn't do it.
So
or you wouldn't use them.
according to the player handbook, restraint does not stop you from taking actions. You can still take
Okay.
actions. Like, but you also got to think maybe it's how, like, if a DM specifically says, "Oh, he grabs your hands," like, how do you do that? Maybe then the grapple thing comes in. But then that brings up the point of to what Sam has brought up is targeted attacks. You know,
Yeah.
can a player specifically target, like a part of the body that would stop a villain or a player from using a specific part of their kit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that fair? Specifically, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it depends on the success of your roll. Like, if you just barely hit, you're probably not able to do what you wanted to. But like, if you got a nat 20, you can probably do exactly what you want to.
Yeah.
I also thought of a few more ways to balance it,
Go.
if you care.
I'm interested.
So originally I said, hey, yeah, make it like a higher difficulty roll if you're targeting something. But then I realized in order to target someone specifically rather than just doing broad swings, you're going to leave your guard open. I think you should be significantly easier to hit afterward.
Kind of like an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Or like your AC would drop significantly if you did have a targeted attack because you're lowering your guard in order to hit something vulnerable.
Or they have advantage.
Or advantage.
Either one.
Advantage is lame.
Oh, okay.
I think lowering the AC makes it more punishing overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a comment from on our YouTube channel from the "So How Fast Should D&D Combat Go" video. When we
Mm.
talked about the flow of combat. Haley, you weren't there. You were adventuring, as per the video.
Yes.
From Lucas Good 4438. Thank you, Lucas. If you're listening to this, shout out to you, homie. When it comes to attacks on specific parts like hands and such, I find that it's easy to get out of hand. He put that in parentheses. They put that in parentheses, apologize. And make it annoying to deal with. Plus, I would hate for a DM to do that to my character, so I personally prefer to reserve that stuff for describing your attack after you made it and determine the damage. For example, DM roll attack misses. He lunges at you, wildly pushing his sword point towards your heart in his reckless fury. However, you are quick as you avoid the angry blow. Attack number rogue player attacks enemy dealing an absurd amount of damage. Rogue player, I lift my rapier to his blade, pushing both to the side as I stepped in the opposite direction, letting his rage carry him past me. As my blade leaves his, I pull it back before thrusting it deep into his upper back, likely severing a major artery. I then pull away and disengage, running 30 feet, blah, 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 blah. Now you can use that fireball, you crazy oaf. I like to save the specifications on where I hit for the explanation and why my attack deals as much damage as it does, because the condition causes the condition or has the effect that it does. So I kind of like that, where it's more
Smart.
based off of damage as well. I like as a DM, I find it very hard to like I would not implement that immediately in our campaign. I feel like if we were to do a new campaign, I probably still wouldn't implement it, but it could be brought up in the session 0, right? And like a wizard, I feel like it's different though for like a wizard. Like if I am just grabbing a wizard's hand so they can't use somatic and material components, that's different than me cutting off the arm of a ranger, you know? Like I'm just in a sense taking a guy out from the combat instead of taking the guy out from adventuring, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it's hard.
One is
that balance.
strategic, one is cruel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I do like the idea of targeted attacks like that. I think there just has to be that balance of, from a DM's perspective. I don't care if you guys chop off the arm of my random grunt you fight. Like I don't care
Yeah.
about that character, and I'm not going to use that character ever. You know, or if you chop off the arm of of a boss and he runs away, that provides. I'm not attached to those characters, and I don't have to play that character every single session. If I
Mhm.
chop off Strider's arm or fingers, he can't shoot his bow. And he plays that character every single session, you know? If I chop off the hands of a wizard, now they can't cast spells. Or maybe they use their feet. I don't know. But the somatic doesn't, like it just depends. Like that's the difference, you know? Like it's hard to I'm not against grappling the hands of a wizard as much as I am chopping off the fingers of a ranger. Because there's ways to get out of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that make sense, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was ever arguing for.
Oh, no,
like,
I know.
I want to remove a man's arm completely.
Sam's over here like, if I can't brutally maim every single one of the people I fight as with my music, with my lyre, I ain't playing the game anymore.
This
Like-
guitar string is used for more than making music.
Oh gosh.
my God.
Holy chicken nuggets. Sheesh. Also as well, let's talk about, because we're talking a little bit more than just like spell components. We're talking about like the casting of spells too. if you're in an anti-magic cone or a silence field, how does that make the spellcaster approach a situation different?
They can't do anything.
Literally, that's actually a big thing, is they can't.
I feel like the goal is different then, right? Because if you're
Mhm.
not in one, it's okay, guns blazing, full steam ahead. If you are in one, I feel like the goal goes from defeating whatever enemy is attacking you to get out of this so as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like in freaking Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
When the guys in the library silenced Shadowheart, and now I have to make her run around the entire arena.
She's
Exactly.
useless. As much as I love Shadowheart, I don't know why they made her in that way.
I
You
You
change
can
really
change
don't.
her
it
stats.
I
You can't,
change
but
it
you can't
every
change her
time.
freaking firebolt. Okay, you can't change that, and that's the part that's frustrating. Is that it uses intelligence, and she has a crappy intelligence, and it's not worth giving her a higher intelligence.
Is her
It's
firebolt
true.
tied to intelligence?
Because it's a racial trait for her being
Ew.
elf, half elf. It's a racial trait tied to that, and that was just like why. And then you make her intelligence 11, so it's literally just a direct roll.
I mean, isn't there an ogre in Act 1 where you can get a crown of intellect from?
Is there?
Yeah.
I wish I played
There
more.
is.
Yeah.
I always grab that.
Is it worth to put that on Shadowheart though?
Probably.
If you're using firebolt that often, probably.
It's
And
her-
it's a
it's
free,
one
it's a
cantrip.
free base 17 intelligence.
In my opinion, just use Sacred Flame instead of Firebolt.
Okay, but she misses with Sacred Flame every time too.
And it's stupid. Shadowheart is trash. And I love her. She's my girl, okay? No, yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's the problem, when it comes to D&D, it's just there's a lot of ways I feel like to specifically stop mages. Is that because in a D&D world, maybe like now this is like totally subjective to your world or whatever. People fear with like magic. Like, is that why
Yes.
magicians have or other people have created specific ways to stop magic?
I mean, yeah, if there's anybody
Mhm.
around you in the world that inherently has more power than you, you're gonna want to protect yourself from it.
So here's okay. Now I'm over
The
here.
D&D Second Amendment is everyone knowing firebolt.
Yeah, we should. Okay,
Yeah.
that's our next episode. D&D Constitution. What does it say?
That's a genius. We're gonna write that down. What is the D&D Constitution?
Yes.
And it's not. We're not talking about your skill. Okay.
Okay.
We're talking about the amendments.
The amendments.
Okay.
Yes.
Second Amendment. Everyone has the right to firebolt. No, because I think that brings up another thing of just in your world, just in general, in world building, is there just an apothecary that sells these spell components?
I feel like
is
it
it
would
just
be. Sorry to
no?
interrupt you.
No,
Sorry.
you're good. Go ahead. We're having a conversation. Interruptions are fine.
I feel like it would be. At least this is how I would do it if I were DMing a campaign. Is it would be regional, because in my
Mhm.
mind, there is no cross country truckers that are like bringing produce from California to New York, right?
What?
Yeah, crazy. So if you wanted back guano, you would go to a local apothecary that has locally grown back guano, and is free of GMOs.
It's organic. Organic.
It's
guano.
organic, yeah. Exactly.
We didn't use any
Non-lab grown bat
pesticides.
guano.
Non-lab grown back guano.
So I feel like depending on actually, I would let it still be available, but depending on what region you're in, I would make it more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good, yeah, like because you'll still have caravans that can like bring things around,
yes,
but
still
definitely
caravans. But like
more
this took a
expensive the
lot to
further you
get
go.
this here.
yeah,
So
hmm
it's gonna be more expensive.
yeah. No, I like that
Mhm.
because I'm going to the point of just like in a government sense, do you want just people with an access to Fireball? Like if someone could just go and buy the components for Fireball just in a random town, that seems a little like uncontrolled chaos, Like
But at the same time, how do they regulate bats?
That's
They're
the problem,
rodents. They reproduce uncontrollably.
right? I mean, that's a little bit. We could go to like,
Sometimes.
like I can't go buy a grenade. You know.
Actually, you can make pipe bombs
Well, we're not going to
legally as
talk about
long as
that.
you
We're not
get
gonna
them
talk about that.
registered.
Well, that's the problem. Is like I think that's a way you could kind of make that. You know, you could like work on that. You know, you have a registered bat guano farm or whatever with the
Mhm.
government because in the Empire of Sandvor, magic is highly regulated. You can't
Mhm.
like there is only one magic shop in the entire empire, and that's at the College of Sindarin. There's only in the whole entire empire they have allowed the rock people that y'all
Rock
met
people.
to I have a specific name for them to do that. And I because to me it kind of made sense of just like in a lot of countries you have a lot of what's the word regulation on what a person can have and not have, right? Why would a
Mhm.
D&D world be any different? You know, there would still be regulation. You don't want your characters, you don't want your civilians to be able to cast fireball again on your castle. You're going to want to regulate that for control. Like that's what the big thing is, right? To
Yeah.
controlling the components, you control the magic. Kind of deal.
So you create an FDA.
You
I don't
create the
know.
FDA.
You mean an ATF?
You ATF, FDA.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. ATF.
I'm part of the Carrigan Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Associate Bureau. Please.
What a weird combination.
Also, just for our listeners, getting a bomb registered with the ATF is very difficult, so don't do it. Just
Yeah.
don't.
We're gonna
Just don't.
cover butts. Don't
Just
make bombs.
Just don't make bombs.
Don't
There you go.
Grok. How do I make it? Just kidding. Random stuff. Sorry, like that's just stuff's just interesting when it comes to components. Obviously, we're a little off topic. Just overall, like, are they used? But also, how do they fit into your world? Is something you should think about in world building. Is how if they're regulated, if they're not, how free is it a black market thing? I personally think bat guano, no matter what, would it be sold, and it would be more black market. Because in all reality, a level 3 spell where you can just basically throw a grenade is wild, or a Molotov cocktail, pretty wild. So
I love that you think that they would try to regulate all of that, but think of all the materials that we have here in reality that can make horrible.
I was about to say, I can
That's
buy
the point,
ammonia.
right?
Can't regulate.
Yeah, I was just
everything.
thinking that, Kendall.
no,
It's
so that's what I'm
impossible
saying,
to
right?
regulate
now.
everything.
You can regulate. What it is, though, is that they still try. The government still tries to regulate as much as they can, but that's why, again, a lot of the stuff would be, black market kind of deal. Like you can't regulate
Yeah.
everything because everything is still available at times, right? I'm not
Yeah,
saying
but bats are so common. That's impossible.
exactly.
To do.
No, that's what I'm saying. At the exact same time, I think there would be a way where you could regulate the sale of bat guano, but you would not be able to regulate it enough to the point of like you'd still be able to find a way to get it, right? Go ahead.
Or like if you're found with a normal amount in a random inspection.
Go ahead.
I think we're being a little too bit merry and happy. So, in my realistic worldview, if this was something happening, the government would kill all bats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they would try to. There's no way they could do it worldwide, though.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide. Sorry, Pitbull. They can't kill Pitbull.
I hear Fireball playing in the distance.
I never would have thought we would talk about Pitbull in our D&D
in a D&D podcast, right?
I talk about Pitbull all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you guys seen the Uppies video?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
Have you guys seen the videos of all the vet techs going to their boss and being like, there's a loose Pitbull outside, and it's some girl dressed as Pitbull dancing around?
No, that's
No.
great, though.
I have to send you one. They get me every
Please do.
time.
But yeah,
I
to go
love
back
it.
to what I was saying, here's an idea. If you want your campaign to be against an evil government, they would make bats go extinct.
Don't think they would do that either.
Really?
I don't think a government would do that either.
So
Okay.
think about the bats that we have here in reality.
Yes.
Touching them gives you like a billion different health risks. Yet the government protects them. And that's because they have a major role in their ecosystem. How would the D&D ecosystem be thrown out of balance if you killed all the bats?
I have
Guys, this is
raised
a
my hand.
fantasy world.
No, I'm
This
raising
is-
my hand.
Happen.
Are you saying
have an
mosquitoes
answer.
don't exist
I
in
have an
Oz?
answer. Most freaking fantasy worlds are set in a medieval world. We don't understand ecosystem balance in the medieval times. They
I
don't know
see.
what they're getting into.
You know, I'm going to argue about this, and I think this
Yeah,
is
we
actually would
learned
make
how
it
to
great.
make large explosions with bat poop.
I actually think this would be such a fantastic topic overall, so I'm not going to share it all. I don't think, yes, we said it in a medieval time, but at the same time, that's just like, we get that from Lord of the Rings, right? A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
that is from Lord of the Rings. I don't consider Kerrigan medieval. I consider Kerrigan there's a lot of science that goes on with these anomalies and all that stuff. Like, I believe the intelligence of, like, Kerrigan is far superior than what they were in medieval Europe, you know. Personally, I think that's an interesting topic. I think fantasy is a huge umbrella term.
Well, yeah.
I think you can have lasers in your fantasy world.
Also, if we're talking medieval times, I'm pretty sure they knew the risks of population decline for
Anyway,
animals.
I don't think they know it as much as they are today. I think the difference would be the spread of information is a
If
huge one that
something
they
was
don't have,
labeled as of the devil,
right? That,
everybody was on that.
They did burn a lot of witchers back in that day, okay? Like science and technology has really opened up the
Yeah.
eyes of a lot of stuff back then, right? We're off topic, okay? I think we're gonna end, and I think this
we're
is a perfect time
exactly
to
on
end.
topic, actually.
You're right.
That's
No,
where
but,
we're
okay,
supposed to
I
be.
love these conversations where like we have an outline, we hit the outline, but we're also going off. I think this is like the perfect discussion, and I love these talks because
Bold of
it's
you to
so
assume I look
fun.
at the outline.
It's so fun. I know you don't, Sam. I don't think I've
don't.
seen your name once ever pop up.
I get
on the
way
shared
better
doc.
raw reactions to conversations if I don't know what we're talking about.
That's
Just
fine.
saying.
That's fine. Because I think it's fun to talk about an ATF in a D&D world. Okay,
Yeah, that's
like
fun.
how that works.
What
How
is
is the
D&D ATF?
Yeah, what is the D&D equivalent of the ATF?
Oceans.
How would you regulate bat guano in your D&D world? I love these discussions because it's just stupid, doesn't mean anything, but it's so fun. So we've had a few of like these past episodes that I've just thoroughly enjoyed because they get stupid like this, and I love it.
Midnight ATF raid uncovered 50 pounds of bat guano in the king's own carriage.
What is this world
Whoa.
coming to?
That's equivalent to 3,000 fireballs.
That's what was he planning? I promised it was just for my battle mages.
Wait, how much bat guano per fireball? I need
doesn't
to
say.
know.
It just
doesn't
says
say?
bat guano.
Oh, fetch. That could be a lot.
Yep. I assume it's whatever you can throw, like a handful of bat guano.
Ew.
Bat guano is very dusty, isn't it? It's like dry.
I don't,
It is?
fun fact,
Yeah.
I've never seen bat poop before.
One sec. I
You
have
should
to
watch
study.
that
I have to
episode
study.
of Dirty Jobs.
Oh.
Love Dirty Jobs. Love
Who would have
that
thought we
show.
would bring up Pitbull and Dirty
And
Jobs
Dirty
in the
Jobs.
same episode?
in
Wow.
the same episode.
A D&D podcast.
Hi, Micro.
I was right.
Big
Okay,
fan.
so I have to
Big fan.
study bats for work, just because government. Bats, their guano they're like pellets. They're crumble. They can become like fine and powdery, and they
Okay.
are flammable for that reason. And they can actually be the cause of small explosions.
So
which
you're
makes
saying-
sense.
So you're saying I could have pocket guano instead of pocket sand?
No, because you will get very
No.
sick.
Okay.
You could.
Yeah.
No, you could. There's just
Yeah.
consequences.
Flammable and will like turn to
You,
dust.
It's the
if you
real
disturb it.
question.
Nah.
So how are you gonna throw dust?
Pocket sand.
What's the range of fireball?
It's like
60 feet
60
or
feet.
120?
120 feet. No, it's 120 feet, I believe.
Okay.
I'm looking.
Correct me in
this
the
up.
comments if I'm wrong. Please. I can already hear the comments.
Fireball 5E. Here we go.
like
The
it's
range of
120.
fireball is 150 feet. There is
150.
no way you're throwing a handful of powder 150 feet.
In D&D you can. In D&D you can.
Well, because you're
love it.
putting like the other
You're spitting
components with it. It's not just
Isn't the only component back Wano?
no.
pretty
I
sure the
mean,
only
like
component is back
you
wall.
have to do like the somatic and the verbal stuff with it too. So like
Doing the YMCA is what makes it go 150 feet.
Exactly.
I love
It's
this conversation. This
me
one's
scooping
great.
up mud as I squash my back Wano into it and be like,
I was actually just thinking, what if you had
YMCA?
like tea bags of bat guano and like you flung them around like with a sling?
This really makes me think that magic just doesn't exist in a D&D world. It's just people like being really creative with random ingredients they find on the ground.
Just being really creative chemists.
They just light a fuse and then throw it, and that's what makes the fireball. But then you get open sesame.
Yeah.
With
So, like,
Sesame Street.
your components in like a little glass globe.
Mm.
Be
Gosh.
fun. Then you could throw it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to stream, guys, so I got to wrap up this episode.
No, you need to
okay?
talk about bat poop.
I gotta stream, and then I also still have to work tonight. So
Bat poo all night. Nothing but
bat poop all night. You know, I actually think it'd be interesting if we did a live episode sometime, and
That
just
would be
answer
fun.
some questions. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
How much bat poo are we allowed to bring to the table?
Whatever you want, baby. Thank you for coming out to the episode. We're gonna end it right there because that's just how we roll here at Beyond the Tavern Wall. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the podcast. If you guys aren't following us on your respective podcast platforms, make sure to follow us on those because that would help us out a ton. If you're not following us or if you want to watch a video podcast, you can go watch the video podcast on YouTube. And it's also on Spotify, but on YouTube as well. And you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok. All of those you can find us at Beyond the Tavern Wall. If you're having questions, suggestions, comments, anything you want to talk to us about, you can shoot us a message on Instagram and TikTok, or you can send us an email at beyondthetavernwall@gmail.com. And as always, the best way to share the podcast is by word of mouth. You go into your friends, family, what are bat studiers called? Batologist. We're to call them that. Batology, the study of Batman. You go and share the podcast with them by word of mouth, best way you can do it. And we always like to give you guys a little side quest to help you out with that. And the woman with the side quest today is Kendall. Kendall,
That's me.
what side quest are we sending our adventures on this time?
You are going to share the podcast with somebody who thinks bats are cute. Also, that they're sky puppies. Because
If you know someone who thinks bats are cute or sky puppies, if they're sky puppies, share the podcast with them. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the tavern, and we will catch you next week back here. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.